Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to speak about the match between Barcelona and Alaves. Barcelona finally got a very deserved win, which ended up 3-1, with a goal coming from Lewandowski, another one coming from Gundogan, and another one coming from Vitor Roque. Now I know that you guys do want to see what led towards the event of Vitor Roque receiving a red card, and we are going to be talking about that specific subject on this video. And if you guys want to skip to that subject on this video, everything is going to be organized down below. I'm going to be talking about how Barcelona approached this match, the readjustments that Xavi made. We're going to be talking about everything. The Vitor Roque conversation is going to be happening much later in this vid. So again, if you guys want to skip to that certain segment, everything will be organized down below. So if you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. I'm happy that you guys are here. If you guys are Barcelona fans, this is going to be the channel for you. This is where we talk about everything regarding FC Barcelona. So welcome to the family. And so let's get to it. Let's talk about the approach that Xavi Hernandez had against Alaves. And this is going to be the starting 11 that Xavi Hernandez went with. We had Iñaki Peña in goal. Our defensive line was Koundé, Araujo, Cubarsí, and Cancelo. Cancelo was the left back. Our midfield was Gundogan, Christensen, and Frankie. So Christensen was playing as a pivot, playing between Gundogan and Frankie de Jong. And then our front three was Lamine Yamal on the right wing position, Lewandowski as the striker, and then Pedri as the false left winger. He was the one that joined the midfield and was one of the interiors alongside Gundogan. So it was a very, I would say, strange starting 11 because there was a player, Christensen, in the middle of the pitch. And let me tell you, this strange starting 11, this strange decision that Xavi Hernandez made, it did work and it benefited Barcelona a lot, because the fact that Christensen was in the middle of the pitch, it led towards a lot of key things. So for example, here in this play, we saw Frankie de Jong drop into the defensive line. Cancelo moved out wide. Frankie de Jong became as kind of like a left back to that defensive line, and then Christensen was the lone pivot. So this was the setup every time Alaves were trying to pressure FC Barcelona extremely high, and they could not take the ball away from Barcelona because of how this team was set up. So I'm like, okay, this is great. So as Barcelona pushed forward and Frankie de Jong was carrying the ball forward with Pedri, with Gundogan, and they were trying to attack, the one that sat back was Christensen, sitting in front of the defensive line. And the reason why we saw Frankie de Jong, Gundogan, Pedri in such high advanced areas with much more freedom to attack and score those goals, it was because of Christensen. Christensen was like, okay, I'm going to permit everybody to go forward. Do not worry, I will defend these areas if Alaves ever tries to counterattack us. And that was great, because sometimes when we saw either Gundogan or Pedri move forward, Frankie de Jong was the one that had to sit back sometimes and defend the areas. But Frankie de Jong is not someone that can defend a lot and cover a lot of spaces. But with Christensen, it's much more different. Barcelona were able to be much more aggressive, more direct, because they were allowed to, because they felt like it was safe, because they had Christensen as their first cover, and then the last cover was Araujo and Cubarsí. So I'm like, this is a great setup. Alaves cannot take advantage of the counterattacks and the spaces that we leave behind because of the great defensive awareness that we had. And that is why, again, we saw Frankie, Pedri, Gundogan in high advanced positions, and that is what led towards Barcelona finding the first goal. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but just look at every position of our midfielders. They're extremely high, very active, always looking for the key pass. Frankie drives the ball up forward. Christensen stays back. He passes it towards Gundogan. Gundogan receives the ball. You can see Lewandowski making a run behind the defense, and then Gundogan makes a key pass and Lewandowski flicks the ball over the goalkeeper. And I'm like, oh my God, like this whole thing is working. The system is working. Could this be the way Barcelona should be moving forward until the end of this season that can bring us much greater success? So it was very exciting to see this. Now, it was not all sunshine and rainbows. We saw Alaves try to like tackle us in one way, and that was for them to attack us on our left flank areas. So we saw like Cancelo get tested over and over again in the first 10 to 15 minutes. We saw a player named, I believe, Sola, and another player named Omar Odian. Those were the two players that were constantly trying to punish Cancelo over and over again. As you can see in these pictures, Cancelo was like, oh my God, like what's going on? I keep getting distracted by this player, and then this other player from behind me is making those runs, and that is how they were able to progress play against FC Barcelona. And Barcelona were like, oh my God, are we going to be conceding another goal in the first 10 to 15 minutes yet again? And many of us were getting nervous. So it was not all sunshine and rainbows. There were some things that were exceptional, but some things that were very concerning. And we thought for a few minutes there that Barcelona were going to concede the first goal yet again. But luckily, Barcelona had Barsi, who was able to cover for Cancelo and his mistakes that he was making. And we were able to decrease the chances of Alaves scoring the first goal. So fast forwarding, on the 49th minute, we saw Pedri receive the ball again. He makes a through pass in the air to Gundogan, and Gundogan puts the ball behind the net, which meant that with Gundogan making the assist to Lewandowski and Gundogan also finishing this chance from Pedri, Gundogan ended up with 1 goal and 1 assist against Alaves. And I'm like, oh my God, like we have to be very appreciative of what Gundogan has been bringing to Barcelona, because I think that statistically this is his best season yet. He has never made more goals and assists in one season besides this one. Like this one right here with Barcelona in his first season, this is his best season. He has been involved in a total of like 9 to 10 goals, more than ever before and ever in his career, more than the time that he has been with Manchester City. So he always comes in great moments and very important moments and puts Barcelona forward. And I'm so happy to see that Gundogan was able to score this, because that also led towards Pedri having his assist. And there was like so many people trolling Pedri, because many of us were like claiming that Pedri is a great midfielder, but Pedri barely gets an assist. But now tonight, we saw Pedri make an amazing assist, and Gundogan was able to capitalize off of this opportunity. So Barcelona were 2-0 up. And so look, Alaves really wanted to come back. They got a goal, and unfortunately that goal came from Barcelona's left side, because they thought that that is where the weakness was. It was where Cancelo was playing. And so Barcelona and Xavi Hernandez made a few readjustments, and we saw Xavi Hernandez take out Cancelo and put in Hector Fort, and then also take out Gundogan and put in Vitor Roque. It was said that Gundogan experienced like fatigue. He did not get injured, but it was just fatigue, and that's why Gundogan came out and Vitor Roque came in. And then Hector Fort was there to reinforce the defensive awareness on the left back position. So I'm like, okay, great. Xavi's making great readjustments. Barcelona are going to be playing even better with these substitutions. Let's see how things go on moving forward. So it was a 2-1 scenario in the second half. And then a few minutes later, on the 63rd minute, Barcelona were able to find the third goal. And it was an amazing goal. We saw Lamine Yamal dribble through multiple players. Hector Fort receiving the ball on the left side, making an assist to Vitor Roque, and then Vitor Roque scores the goal and puts it into the bottom right corner. So I'm like, I love everything about this goal. Lamine Yamal at 16 years old, just punking these players like nothing. Hector Fort also making an assist after being substituted in for Cancelo. And then Vitor Roque getting the second goal this season on his second game. I'm like, this is an amazing game that we are having. But then came the controversy of Vitor Roque. And this is where I do want to talk about everything that went on and what's currently going on with the ref and FC Barcelona. So Vitor Roque was trying to make a run behind the defender, and the defender of Alaves, who I think is one of the right backs, tries to take him down physically. But because he fails to take down Vitor Roque was running forward, and then the defender just throws himself into the ground. And then in the ref's perspective, he thought that Vitor Roque like either punched that defender or tries to push him away or something like that. And then he's like, okay, Vitor Roque, you are going to be getting a yellow card. Now, I wish I can show you guys like the videos of what exactly this looked like, but I don't want to get flagged. But basically the player of Alaves was trying to push him, and he throws himself down only because he fails to take down Vitor Roque. But Vitor Roque ends up with the yellow card. A few seconds later, or a few minutes later, we saw another situation where it led towards Vitor Roque getting the red card. So you can see that number 16, right, of Alaves tries to slide tackle and take the ball away from Vitor Roque, which he does successfully. Vitor Roque, before that, you know, like before the right leg of the player of Alaves hits Vitor Roque lifts his legs up so he doesn't hit the defender that is trying to slide tackle him. And then after he does not hit that defender, the ref is like, oh my God, you almost tried to hit that player that was trying to slide tackle you, so you are going to be getting another yellow card, even though Vitor Roque did not get not a single touch on this defender, not one. And you can clearly see through these plays that Vitor Roque was not even trying to like hit him at all, nor do I even think that he touched him. And then the ref is just like, this is a straight foul, another yellow card, and in result Vitor Roque got a red card. And I'm like, what is going on here? Really, the ref saw two situations where it led towards Vitor Roque getting a red card, And those two situations were like nothing. Like he literally did not participate in any sort of aggressive situation. Like he didn't do anything. Like if you go look at the plays, like please do me a favor. Aside from watching this video, do me a favor and go watch these plays. Tell me one time where Vitor Roque got aggressive against one of these players that led towards him getting a yellow card. Because I can guarantee you he did nothing. Now, you know what's crazy? This man, this ref that was refereeing this game, that gave Vitor Roque the 2 yellow cards and that led towards the red card, named Martinez Manuera. Do you guys know that he is a Real Madrid fan? There was this report that came out by Sport a few months ago or a few years ago. I don't know when this report came out, but it basically confirmed that this ref, he is a Real Madrid fan. And it said on this newspaper that the referee of the match between Alaves and Barcelona, Martinez Manuera, is a Real Madrid fan. According to Sport some years ago, the referee's father is a founder of the Madrid fan club called Los Amigos. So listen to what I just said. The referee's father, right? So the referee, the one that refereed this match between Alaves and Barcelona, his father is the founder of the Madrid fan club called Los Amigos. Isn't that insane? Like, isn't that just crazy to know that, yes, this ref is clearly on the side of Real Madrid, which is why he is in some way favoring Alaves and making sure that Barcelona go on the downfall. He was probably so mad to see that Vitor Roque got the goal. Like, I know that in his mind, he was probably thinking, oh my God, Barcelona are clearly gaining an advantage here. They're clearly winning. And look how Vitor Roque scored the goal. Look at what's currently going on here. There's clear solutions happening for Barcelona. I have to stop this. I have to do something. I have to try to minimize the opportunities of Barcelona going for the 4-1 or 5-1, because then Barcelona is going to be gaining confidence and we don't want that. So I bet you the ref was like, I have to do something. I have to take down Vitor Roque, take out this Brazilian young player and take him out and make sure that Barcelona go down with 10 men. And just to prove to you guys even more that this ref is clearly favoring Alaves and not favoring this match as a whole, and make sure that this match is fair. Look at this play here. You can see that Vitor Roque gets pushed by one of the players of Alaves. He goes into the ground, and the worst thing from all of this is that he gets pushed onto the ground in front of the ref while the ref is looking at this play. He is literally right next to them, no more than 3 to 4 feet away from this play of Vitor Roque getting pushed from the ground, and nothing. The center back, the Alaves player, gets nothing. No punishment, nothing at all. But with Vitor Roque, a player that did not even touch one of the players of Alaves, gets 2 yellow cards and gets taken out. Isn't that just crazy? Like, I'm sorry, Vitor Roque. I'm so sorry. Like, Vitor, if you're watching this video, I'm sorry. Welcome to La Liga, but this is it. This is how La Liga is going to be treating you. This is just how corrupt this league is. And so Vitor Roque came in, right? This is going to be a recap. He came in on the 59th minute. He was subbed on. 4 minutes later, he scores. 4 minutes later, he got a yellow card, his first yellow card. And then 4 to 5 minutes later, he gets another yellow card and gets a taste of what La Liga is like and gets sent off. So he played like I think 10 to 15 minutes and was sent off. It's just insane. And so I'm pretty sure that Barcelona are going to be appealing this. I believe that Xavi Hernandez has confirmed that Barcelona will appeal this decision, and they want to make sure that Vitor Roque does not get suspended for future games. Because, again, I truly do think that the ref and the VAR are going to be looking back at this and say, oh my God, we did make a mistake. Now, I know that the VAR cannot look at yellow cards and yellow card decisions that are made by the ref. I don't think that that should be the way moving forward and how the league should be functioning. I think that every time the ref gives out a yellow card, it should always be checked by the VAR. Always, no matter what, because humans can make mistakes. Like, what is the whole point of VAR and this whole technology if you cannot use it and fully maximize its potential? Because then it leads towards situations like this. And so let's step away from that. And I do want to give out a few takeaways coming away from this match, because I don't want this to be like a very heated debate nor a very negative type of video. I want to talk about further things. Let's talk about the debut of these 3 players, Cubarsí, Hector Fort, and Lamine Yamal. These 3 players were amazing. I think that Xavi Hernandez is doing this for a reason and evolving these players for a reason, is because he wants to leave knowing that he left Barcelona with 3 youngsters that can be the future of this club. He's like, okay, if I'm going to be leaving, I want to at the very least leave my mark here and make sure that there are players in this squad that can serve Barcelona for many, many more years and be at a world-class level. And I think that it is going to be Cubarsí, Hector Fort, and Lamine Yamal, 3 players who played amazing against Alaves and are clearly becoming starting material under this Xavi Hernandez team. Point number 2, I think that the future, right, from today all the way until the end of the season, it should be Andreas Christensen as our pivot and play right next to Frankie de Jong, because there's just way too many benefits that we can come away from this, right? If Christensen is there, it allows for Frankie and Pedri and Gundogan to go much higher up the pitch and be much more effective and create more goal scoring opportunities and lead towards Lewandowski also scoring more goals. And then moving on towards point number 3 is that I think that this is the beginning of something new for this season specifically. I think that in in this second half, we are going to be seeing Vitor Roque have his emergence. The fact that he was able to provide 2 goals in 2 games, I think that we're seeing something special. I think that Vitor Roque can score at the very least 11 to 12 goals this season for the next 5 to 6 months. And that is something that Barcelona was missing and we're definitely going to benefit from. I want to see much more of Vitor Roque. If that does mean that we're going to have to see Vitor Roque as a left winger with Lewandowski as the striker and Lamine Yamal on the right, then so be it. Let that be our definitive front 3 and let's just see what happens and how much Vitor Roque can improve on top of these controversies and on top of him trying to adapt to the Barcelona style. And so that is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Barcelona won. Let's continue this winning streak. And again, I'll see you guys in the next one.